that God does what He promised in the Bible. That's why I am teaching about this, that God is faithful, because what has been written in the Bible, God will do it exactly. Even though sometimes it seems impossible for us, but God is going to give you. Just imagine, remember, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you already received them, and they will be done to you. They will be done to you. So it means God is going to do them. So what is a faithful someone, faithful human being? Is when a person walks consistently with God in humility and humble service in Him. He or she can be called faithful. When someone is always going to the church, when someone is always praying faithfully to God, when someone is always reading the Bible, when someone, consciously turn his back to sin, that is also faithfulness to God. God is not, sometimes we think that God is blind and deaf and emotionless. No, God sees everything what we do. Even when we decide we will sleep up to 12 o'clock, even when we try to, try to make some excuses, but God knows it when you are sincere, when you really have a valid reason why you didn't go to church, or why you didn't pray, or why you didn't help other people, or why God is not blind. Sometimes we think God is blind. He sees everything we see. But then we will think, God will understand. God will understand, but then God is also a judge. So the judgment will come later. So I'm just here also to warn you that God is not blind. God is not deaf. So everything we do, when we are lazy, when we are not on fire for God, when we are lazy for God, when we are impatient for God, He sees them all, I tell you. He sees them all. So even in the Bible, when Nehemiah had to leave Jerusalem to return to Persia, he put Anani and Ananiah in charge. So the reason for this is the choice of man. These were more faithful and God-fearing than many. So Nehemiah 7:2, I gave the responsibility of governing Jerusalem to my brother Hanani, along with Ananiah, the commander of the fortress, for he was faithful man who feared God more than most. So it means you can see it here. Nehemiah needed men of character whom he could trust. So men who would not take bribes, who were committed